Yes, I have given live.
So, welcome, Masters. Thank you, Sri Kalaji. Good to see you. So, Masters, welcome to part 12 of book session on autobiography of a yogi. And today we would be covering chapter number 24 and 25. So, if anyone has a book with them and if you could tell the name of the chapter, that would be great. Just unmute yourself and tell the name of the chapter 24 and 25. Okay, so does anyone has a book with them? Okay, so chapter number 24 is I Become a Monk of the Swami Order. And we would be covering chapter number 25, which is Brother Ananta and Sister Nalini. And Masters, let's today start our session with a beautiful cosmic chant. And this cosmic chant is so profound. It is also one of my favorite. And today we will not listen, but we will all sing together this cosmic chant, which is, I have typed in the lyrics of the cosmic chant in the chat. And this is, door of my heart, open wide, I keep for thee. Will thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. So, Masters, let's today sing this cosmic chant all together. And don't worry about the rhythm or the pitch. It's important that we all sing together, because when we sing together, then we generate the vibrations and the uplifting positive energy that fills us with joy and unity. So, so you can unmute. What do you, Usha ji, I see you writing, I can't see it.
I think
Yeah, I can't see
maybe
the chant because it was lost. Can you copy it again, please?
Yes, yes. Let me do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've done. So let's sing all of us together, Masters, this cosmic chant. Door of my heart, door of my heart, open wide I keep. Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will thou come, just for once come to me? My desire, my Lord, when my days fly away, without seeing thee, my Lord, night and day, I look in my day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Will thou come, just for once come to me? Will thou when thou come just for once come to me, where my days fly away, where I see thee, my Lord, where my days fly away, where I see thee, night and day, I look for night and day, night and day. Lord, oh, cry, open wide I keep for thee. Lord, oh, cry, open wide I keep for thee. Keeping your eyes closed, masters, let's take in the vibrations and the positive energy that this cosmic chant has generated. Paying our gratitude to the Divine Mother, to Mahavatar Babaji, Lahiri Mahasya Ji, Swami Sri Yukteswar Ji, and Paramahansa Yogananda Ji. You can now open your eyes, masters. So, masters, let's today start with the session. So, I will share my screen with you all. Okay, masters. So, masters, in the last session, we learned that how Yogananda, he received his bachelor's degree from the Calcutta University, and how happy Yogananda was on receiving this incredible feat. And so he was so elated, and so was his guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar Ji. We all know that Yogananda's heart and soul, it always was with his guru, it always was on walking the spiritual path. And even he had no idea that he would be completing his bachelor's, as he hardly used to attend his college lectures. And his father, Bhagavati Charan Ghosh, he was since childhood after Yogananda to complete his high school studies. And now when Yogananda had received his bachelor's degree, then his father was on top of the world. And so his father, he offered Yogananda an executive position in the Bengal Nagpur Railways. We know that his father, he was a high-ranking officer in the railways, similar to that of a vice president. But Yogananda, he refused this offer. And obviously his father, he was not happy at the refusal of Yogananda for this high-ranking job in the railways. And instead, Paramahansa Yogananda, he asked Swami Sri Yukteswar to initiate him into a monk of the Swami order. And when his Guru Swami Sri Yukteswar heard these words from Yogananda, then he was very happy to know that Yogananda's love for God was true. And masters, having the monastic vows and entering into the Swami order is no less thing because it means that once Yogananda, he enters into the Swami order and becomes officially a monk, then this means that he can never marry and he devotes his entire life to God. And Swami Sri Yukteswar, he happily agrees to do so, and he arranges a small ceremony and he drapes around Yogananda an orange color, an ochre color robe, which officially symbolizes Yogananda as a monk. And then Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he asked him to select a new name, and Yogananda came the reply. And thus, in this way, the family name of Mukunda Lal Ghosh, it was left behind, and a new name of Yogananda was henceforth used. So, masters, this is how the name Yogananda came into existence, as this name was selected by none other than Yogananda himself. And masters, now moving forward with this book, we know that Yogananda, there were 8 brothers and sisters, 4 brothers and 4 sisters. And Yogananda, he was the second son and the 4th child. And one day, what happened was that while Yogananda, he was meditating, he got a message that the lifespan of his eldest brother Ananta is coming to close. That is, he got this message that his eldest brother Ananta, he would be soon leaving his physical body. And now Yogananda, he was filled with grief and sorrow upon receiving this message. And he did not want to see his eldest brother leaving his physical body right in front of his eyes. And so he took a boat and went out of India. And back here in India, Ananta, he was gripped with a sudden illness and his condition, it got deteriorated. And now Yogananda's boat, it went to various countries like Burma, Japan. And this was not a sightseeing trip, but it was just that Yogananda, he could not bear the loss of his own brother in front of his eyes. And that is the reason why Yogananda took this boat trip. And when Yogananda's boat, it reached Shanghai, then Yogananda thought of buying some presents for his guru and his family. And then Yogananda in Shanghai, he went on to buy a souvenir for his eldest brother. And he bought a carved bamboo souvenir for Ananta. And just the moment he bought this souvenir, it fell on the ground and it cracked because of the fall. And Yogananda cried that I have bought this for my dead brother. So at that time, Yogananda, he got this realization that Ananta's soul was just being freed in the infinite. And this souvenir, which was now cracked, Yogananda wrote on its surface, "For my beloved Ananta, now gone." And Yogananda, he started to cry. And there was another companion who was along with Yogananda, and he remarked to Yogananda that, "Why are you crying? You're not even sure that your eldest brother is no more. So just wait till you reach Calcutta and then, you can actually know what really happened." And now when their boat reached Calcutta, then Yogananda's youngest brother Vishnu, he was there to receive him. And before Vishnu could say anything to Yogananda, Yogananda told to Vishnu that, "I know Ananta has departed this life." And Yogananda, he told to Vishnu that, "Please tell my companion the time and the date when Ananta left his physical body." And it was exactly the same day and the time when Ananta had bought that souvenir, and when that souvenir had fallen on the ground, that was the day and the time when Ananta left his physical body. So friends, in this way, Ananta, he left his physical body, And in the last session, we also learned how Yogananda's eldest sister Roma and her husband Satish, they had also left for the heavenly abode. And now let us learn a little bit about Yogananda's younger sister Nalini. So on the screen, you are seeing Yogananda at the age of 16, and on the right hand side, you see the picture of Nalini. So during childhood, Yogananda and Nalini, they did not had a very cordial relationship. So their relationship was not of the happiest nature. And the reason was because of the physical appearance. So we know that Yogananda, he was quite thin when he was an adolescent. And Nalini, she was still thinner than Yogananda. So this picture is of a much later age of Nalini, but during childhood, Nalini was very, very thin. And now they used to tease each other and they used to throw tantrums at each other because of their physical appearance. And their mother had to intervene a lot to separate themselves from the fight. And then later, Nalini, she got married to a doctor. And though she got married, but Nalini, she faced a lot of challenges in her marriage. Due to her Nalini's frail appearance and lack of attraction, they were not able to consummate their marriage. That is, they were not able to have any physical relations. And Nalini, she loved her husband dearly. And she longed for her husband's love. And now it was beyond her control and it was beyond her understanding on what she should do to get the love of her husband. She had tried everything from tonics to meat to eggs to fish to having a lot of medicines, but nothing had worked, not even a gram she was able to put on herself. And then what happened that Yogananda, he paid a visit to Nalini's home, and Nalini, she was welled up with tears. And Nalini, she told Yogananda that let's bury the old hatchet. We know that we did not had a very happy childhood. We used to fight a lot, but let's make now peace. And then Nalini, she told to Yogananda, all filled up with tears, that I see you that your feet are firmly set on the spiritual path. I want to become like you in every way. You're now robust in appearance. Will you help me? My husband does not come near me, and I love him dearly. But my chief desire is to progress in God realization, even if I must remain thin and attractive. And you're seeing that in those times, also in these times, it is of paramount significance that for any married woman to get the love of her husband. And when she does not get that love, then she feels so much void inside her. And that void was also felt by Nalini. But this realization came to Nalini that this void can be filled with God's love, with divine's love. And so she requested Yogananda to also help her to walk the spiritual path. These lines, they are so profound. So Nalini is saying that even if I must remain thin and unattractive, my chief desire is to progress in God realization. So she is now accepting her physical frail appearance. She is accepting the way she looks. And she is also telling that her main and chief desire is to commune with the divine. It is to walk the spiritual path. And Yogananda, on hearing these words from Nalini, he was touched by her request, which was so sincere. And Nalini told her brother that train me in any way you like, I put my trust in God instead of tonics. And she gathered all her medicines and tonics and poured them down the drain. And Yogananda, he then asked Nalini that you must omit all the fish, eggs, medicines, and and all the non-vegetarian food that you have been taking. So just omit that completely from your diet. And Nalini, she religiously followed the vegetarian diet and walked the spiritual path. And some days later, Yogananda, he paid a visit to Nalini's house, and he was very happy to see the way Nalini was progressing in her spiritual journey. And then he asked Nalini that how plump, how fat do you want to be? And Nalini, she said that I want to be as stout as you are. And Yogananda, he said that by the grace of God, as I have spoken truth always, I speak truly now. Through the divine blessings, your body shall verily change from today. In 1 month, it shall have the same weight as mine. So, Masters, the scriptures say that one who habitually speaks the truth, they develop the power of materializing their words. And we know that Yogananda, he always spoke the truth since his childhood. And truthliness is godliness. So, Yogananda, since he always spoke truth every moment of his life, there was 100% belief, there was 100% conviction and trust that his words, they then come to pass. That is, they come true. And in 30 days' time, Masters, Nalini, she gained the weight which was equal to his brother's. So on the screen, you are seeing Nalini and Yogananda, and they are having around the same weight. So Nalini, who was so frail, who was so thin, just in 30 days' time, she gained the weight that she always aspired to have through the grace of divine which came through Yogananda. And now their marriage, which had started on an unharmonious note, which had been devoid of love, which had been devoid of happiness, it turned into a happy and a loving marriage. And then days passed like this until one day, Nalini, she was diagnosed with typhoid fever. And now this typhoid fever, Masters, it is a very serious disease, and especially back then it was quite fatal, and it was caused by the contamination of food or water. And Nalini's condition had deteriorated so much that it had also caused her blood dysentery. That is, she was losing blood from her body through diarrhea, and she had lost so much blood from her body that there was not even a drop of blood left in her body to shed. So her condition was so bad, and she had switched to coma. And when Yogananda, he saw Nalini's condition, he was horror-stricken. He was so shocked to see Nalini in such a sad state. And then Yogananda, he moved heaven and earth. He prayed to the Divine Mother to heal Nalini. And Yogananda, he said with belief and faith that Nalini will recover. And in 7 days, her fever will be gone. And a week later, Nalini, she opened her eyes, and from that day, her recovery was fast, and she regained her usual weight. So now Nalini, she was completely healed from the typhoid fever. But there was one sad scar which had left from that fatal illness, which was that her legs had got paralyzed. And now Yogananda, who had been praying incessantly to the divine since the start of Nalini's illness, now he was at loss. He was not able to find a solution for her legs, and he had exhausted himself. So he went to his Guru Swami Sri Yukteswar to seek help from his Guru to heal his sister's legs. And Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he told that, do not worry, your sister's legs will be normal at the end of 1 month. And he also added that let your sister wear an armband with 2-carat pearl. And now, on hearing these words, Yogananda, he was very happy that since his guru has told that his sister will heal, so he was assured and he was happy that yes, now the legs of his sister would be completely normal. And he said that, okay, Guruji, since you are saying that my sister should wear an armband with 2-carat pearl, I will get her, but your words are enough. But Swami Sri Yukteswarji insisted that no, your sister must wear an armband with 2-carat pearl. And so this conversation did not end it there. Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he went on to describe the physical and the mental characteristics of Nalini, how she looks and what is her mental aptitude and attributes like. And Yogananda, he was very shocked to listen in detail about his sister. And so he asked his Guruji that, Guruji, I have not told you anything about my sister except that she has a paralysis in her legs, but then also you know in exact detail everything about my sister. So we know that Swami Sri Yukteswar, he was also an acclaimed astrologer. And since Yogananda had not given any birth details to his guru, so he was a bit shocked to know that how his guru knows everything about his sister. And then Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he gave such a beautiful and a profound reply. He said that there is a deeper astrology which is not dependent on the testimony of calendars and clocks. Each man is a part of the Creator or cosmic man. He has a heavenly body as well as one of earth. The human eye sees the physical form, but the inner eye penetrates more profoundly even to the universal pattern of each man is an integral and individual part. So, Masters, what Swami Sri Yukteswarji is saying here is that when we see others, we see through our physical eyes, and what our physical eyes can see, they can only see what is visible. But when we see through the spiritual eye, through the divine eye, through the point between the eyebrows, also known as the Christ consciousness, also known as the Ajna Chakra, then we can penetrate into the deeper realities and can know of an individual which goes beyond the physical aspect. And Swami Sri Yukteswarji also explained a very significant aspect. He said that when a person reincarnates, then only a part of him reincarnates in the physical earth and a part of him stays in the higher dimensions, which is also known as the heavenly body or the spiritual body or the higher self. So when we get guidance, when we get insights in meditation or otherwise, who is giving us guidance? It is a higher self which is there in the higher dimensions, which gives us this guidance. And Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he very beautifully said that when anyone can connect with that heavenly body that is there in the higher dimensions, then one can know everything about that person. So, Masters, this is a very beautiful learning that Swami Sri Yukteswarji gave. And then it was time for Yogananda to depart the ashram of Swami Sri Yukteswarji. And just then Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he told Yogananda that your sister, she has been told by many doctors that she can never bear children. And Yogananda, he said, yes, Guruji, you're absolutely right. She has been told by doctors that she cannot bear children. And Swami Sri Yukteswarji, he told Yogananda to assure her sister that within a few years she will give birth to 2 daughters. And masters, it is needless to say that Nalini's legs, which were paralyzed, which the doctors had no hope for, her legs got completely healed of that paralysis. And in a few years' time, she also gave birth to 2 daughters. So, masters, I'll just stop the sharing, yes. So, masters, in these 2 chapters, there have been so many learnings for us to have. If we see from the beginning that Yogananda's love for God, it was so true that absolutely nothing could come in between Yogananda and God. Neither a high-ranking job which was offered by his father, nor constant discouragement that he had received from his family, from his brother Ananta, nor the prospect of getting married. So nothing could deter him, and his path and his mind was completely set on walking the spiritual path. And with this determination, he finally donned the role of a renunciant. He became a monk of the Swami order. So, masters, this so beautifully teaches us that if we also set our mind on a path that we want to follow, that nothing can deter us, nothing can come in between us to realize what we want to achieve. And then, masters, we get another beautiful learning, which is that Swami Sri Yukteswar, when he was giving the monastic vows to Yogananda, then he gave this freedom, he gave this opportunity to Yogananda to select a new name for himself. And, in India, when we know that when any foreigner, he walks the spiritual path, then he gets a new Indian name. And also when anyone enters the Swami order, that is, he becomes a monk, then also he gets a new name. So why is that? It is because it symbolizes a transformation in his life. That is, he is leaving behind his old self, and now he is venturing into a new path. And also, masters, a new name is being taken because we know that the name holds the vibrations, the name holds the energies. And when we constantly address a person with that particular name, then it creates a resonance, which we see that a person, he then imbibes the qualities of that name into himself. So even if we check with our own names, then we will get to know how beautifully we resonate with the qualities from that name. So even if you would like, you could check with yourself the name and the qualities that your name represents and how much you resonate with those qualities. So, masters, we also learn from Nalini's life. We saw that when Nalini, she got married, there was no love in her married life, and she was quite unhappy because of this. So this had created a void in her life, in her heart. And this void, this suffering of her, it got her closer to the divine. It got her in contact with what her soul plan was. So it was a blessing in disguise. Because Nalini had completely surrendered to the life that she was living. She had completely accepted her physical appearance. And when she had surrendered, then everything started falling in its place once she had started walking the spiritual path. And Masters, there are some beautiful lines which Swami Sri Yukteswar, he often says, which is that first seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then everything shall be added unto you. Which means that if we follow the spiritual path, if we commune with the divine, then everything automatically it starts falling into its place. Generally it happens that if we are encountered with any problem or with any challenging situation in our life, then all our focus, all our energies goes into those problems, goes into those challenges. That we find no time then to meditate, that we find no time to commune with the divine. But Swami Sri Yukteswarji is saying, and he's also advising, that if we be in communion with the divine, if we meditate, then that divine will take care of everything. And in no time, we would see that everything has fallen into its place without our effort. And through Nalini's life, we saw how beautifully Nalini, she got the love of her husband. She got cured of the typhoid that she was suffering from, and typhoid and her condition, we know that it was so serious. And not only that, the paralysis of her legs, it also got cured. And the doctors who had told that Nalini would not be able to bear children, she was also able to give birth to 2 daughters. So Masters, you're seeing that once she has started walking this path for which she had taken birth, everything started falling into place. She started receiving the grace from the divine through Swami Sri Yukteswar, through Yogananda. So this is another beautiful learning that we get from the life of Nalini, that whenever we are faced with a problem, don't put your energies in the problems, don't put your energies in those challenges. But on the other hand, just focus with one pointed focus, just meditate and be in communion with the divinity which is present within us. And Masters, there's another beautiful learning that we get is that when Yogananda, he got this message in meditation that now Ananta's life will be coming to a close, then Yogananda, he knew within him that this was the will of divine, that this was Ananta's soul plan to leave his physical body at that time. But on the other hand, we saw that when Nalini's life was at stake, then Yogananda, he moved heaven and earth and he prayed incessantly with the divine to heal Nalini, because he had this realization that Nalini's soul plan is not to leave this life at this particular hour, that Nalini's soul still has to evolve further, that Nalini still has to gain a lot of experiences in her life. And that is how we have seen that Ananta's life, when it, so Ananta had in a way learned what he had to learn in his life. We know that Ananta had been completely averse to Yogananda walking the spiritual path, and he was the one who used to discourage Yogananda so much. And what happened that later in his life, Ananta, he realized that the path which Yogananda is walking, the path which is of becoming a yogi, which is of becoming a renunciant, that is the true path for Yogananda, for which Yogananda has taken birth. And Ananta only, he became a disciple of Yogananda. So Ananta, who had been living a life completely immersed into the worldly things, completely immersed into the material things, how he beautifully transformed and he started walking the spiritual path. So Yogananda knew that Ananta has now completed his life journey and he has learned all the lessons and he has done all the karma for which he had taken birth into this life. Whereas Nalini, on the other hand, she still had to evolve further. She still had to learn so much in her life. So, Masters, this also gives such a beautiful learning to us that whenever anyone departs from this life, if we look from our physical eyes and if we try to analyze it from our own consciousness, we would not be able to do so. Only if we have that spiritual eye, only when we have this divine realization, then we will be able to see the bigger picture and actually know the purpose and the soul plan of a person. So, this gives us such a beautiful learning that whatever happens, it happens for the highest good of that particular soul. And so, Masters, every word that is given in this book is so profound and it teaches us a lot. So, in these 2 chapters only, we have seen that we have learned many things. And there's another beautiful learning that I would like to share is that we know such, that Swami Sri Yukteswar, he was such a great, great saint. He had such tremendous power and, he knew everything of a person, his past, his present, and his future. And he had the capability to heal anyone. He had the capability to even raise anyone from death. But still, whenever anyone used to come to him for healing, then what did Swami Sri Yukteswarji used to do? He used to advise that you please buy this armband, you please wear this gemstone. So why did he used to do that? So, Masters, great saints like Swami Sri Yukteswarji, they never wish to appear as great healers. They realize and they live from this eternal truth that only and only God is the healer. And so, what they do is that they divert the attention of people from themselves to the gemstones, to the armband. And with this, Yogan, and with this Swami Sri Yukteswarji, what he used to do is that instead of bringing people close to him, that he never wanted anything for himself. He did not wanted people to become his followers, but he wanted people to come in closer with the divine. So he used to divert people's attention that they should not think that Swami Sri Yukteswarji is a god who is doing all these miraculous things. But Swami Sri Yukteswarji always used to tell that this armband is healing them, that these gemstones are healing them. And with this, I'm not stating that these gemstones, they do not have any spiritual potencies. They do have, but most importantly, they have the blessings of the divine, which comes through the grace of the Guru, Swami Sri Yukteswarji. So, Masters, this shows that the enlightened beings, the great saints, they are so humble and they always live from a place of knowing the eternal truths of life and death. They're not after fame or name. They're not after anything. They just want to help others also to see the eternal truth of life and death. So they know that they are just a channel of the divine, and through them healing takes place, but the ultimate healer is the divine. So, Masters, that was it for today, and that were the sharings for today. And with this, we are halfway through the book Autobiography of a Yogi. And Masters, all of you who are present here and all of you who watch it on YouTube, if you have journeyed so far, then it clearly indicates that, it clearly indicates your readiness to instigate a positive transformational journey within yourself. And I'm so thankful for you all to join in all these sessions. So thank you, Masters, for joining in for today. And Masters, if you would like to share anything or any of your experiences or any of your questions, if you may have, then you're most welcome to do so.
Namaste, Ruchi ji. This is Sureka.
Yes, Surekha ji.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing these sessions. And the way I really like the way you explain so detailed and so peacefully. Every word coming from you just touches my soul. Thank you so much. I have one quick question about is there any difference between God realization and self realization? Maybe it might be a stupid question, but I know Yogananda ji talks a lot about God, and it's like I get confused when we think that okay, we are gods, we are Aham Brahmasmi, and it's my understanding, or it may not. It's like something, some other person is God. It shows or it explains as if there is somebody else when we are that. So could you please shed some light on this? Thank you.
Okay, Surekha ji. So, when we say that somebody gets enlightened, then it means that they have got self-realization. They have got this realization that they are a soul who has been given this human body to work out their karma. So that is self-realization when they get complete knowledge on who they are. But the journey doesn't end there. They have to walk further to have also this God realization, which is that God resides in every one, whether it is human beings, whether it is animals, whether it is plants. So basically, in every speck of this creation, God resides.
Okay.
So
So
that is how, so you have to evolve further from being self-realized to God-realized, which is that we all are gods. We all have the divine within us, whether it is an animal, whether it is a plant, whether something belongs to the mineral kingdom, because it has been ultimately created by that one. Yes,
Mhm.
Surekha ji.
So it's the same thing as oneness.
Oneness, exactly. Yes, oneness.
Okay. So being in oneness, or it's the God realization is what is oneness.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Okay. And some people say that for every human on this earth, is the main goal is to enlighten or get self-realized. But so it is not self-realization or oneness, it is the God realization is there. I mean, ultimate goal, I guess, right? You should not be sticking to self-realization. You have to go to the next step. So that should be the
Exactly.
goal. Okay.
Yes. So God realization can only come when you have self-realization. So first step is self-realization, and then you have to evolve further to realize the divinity within you and divinity within everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Surekha ji.
Gugu wants to speak. Thank
you for the session.
Tell once again.
Thank you for the session.
Oh my God, that is such a cute. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you so much. This is the best thank you that I've ever got. Thank you, Ananya. You are such a cute girl. You know that? And we are wearing today the same color clothes. See, you're also wearing red, and I'm also wearing something reddish orange. Right?
Same pinch, say. Oh, she's showing the color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. And so pretty.
Also,
I also have like this.
a scarf.
Scarf. You also have a scarf like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Once again, say thank you, everyone. Properly. Okay.
Neelima
Say
ji, is
Merry
that your daughter?
Christmas.
So cute. Is that your daughter?
No, she's Jyoti's daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's everyone's daughter. She calls me Neeli Mama. Yeah, okay. Amma. Oh, we will. She won't. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ruchi, please carry on. I'll stop the live now. Yeah.
Okay, masters. So it was good that you could all join and we could all study these 2 chapters, and we are halfway through this book. And we have a lot more to learn from this book, a lot of more interesting things. Like we will learn, just to give you an idea, we will learn about the life of Mahavatar Babaji, about the life of Lahiri Mahasaya, about what happened in the life of Lahiri Mahasaya, that he was an ideal householder, but then he became an enlightened guru, he became a divine realized guru. And we will also learn about the woman saint Ananda Mohima, about a woman saint Giribala, who never used to eat and drink for more than 50 years. She did not had even a single drop of water, or she ate nothing, and still she lived a very healthy and a beautiful life. And we will also learn about the law of miracles, that is the science behind all the miracles that we have seen in this book, like materializing something out of thin air or materializing oneself in 2 places. And we will also learn about the Kriya Yoga, about Yogananda going to the West and establishing self-realization fellowship and various institutions in the US and in so many other places. So, and yes, most importantly, we would learn about life after death, which is shared by Swami Sri Yukteswar Ji. So we will learn how Swami Sri Yukteswar Ji, when he left his physical body, he resurrected himself, that is, he came back into life and told to Yogananda about what happens after we die, where do we go and what do we do. So there are a lot of learnings yet to imbibe, and there's so much more to learn, masters. So let's start with the meditation for today, masters.